insight with us on NewsX World. Now we move the focus onto Middle East. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said that he will speak with US President Donald Trump on Monday to discuss peace efforts in Ukraine and the situation in Gaza. Erdogan has also confirmed that Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan will attend an upcoming Coalition of the Willing meeting in Paris, where nations backing Ukraine are set to coordinate. The announcement comes as 8 countries, UAE, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, Indonesia, Pakistan, and Turkey, issued a joint statement expressing concerns over worsening humanitarian conditions in Gaza amid harsh winter weather and limited aid. The nations have called on Israel to allow the UN and international NGOs to operate freely in Gaza and the West Bank, emphasizing that restrictions on humanitarian work are unacceptable. Recent Israeli measures require NGOs to submit lists of Palestinian staff to authorities violating European privacy rules and may result in banning of over 37 NGOs from Gaza, further complicating relief efforts. Now for this discussion, we welcome Ms. Alison Mutler. She's a former AP Bureau Chief in Romania, joins us live from Bucharest. Thank you very much, Ms. Mutler, for joining us once again. Good to see you.
Hello, Suma.
Thank you. Now, looking at this, why is Turkey going to be present in the upcoming Coalition of the Willing meeting, and what does Turkey's simultaneous engagement, Ukraine and Gaza, suggest about their foreign policy priorities right now?
Well, Turkey is a key player in the region. It's in the Middle East. Part of its land, Istanbul, is in Europe, and whilst the rest of it is in Asia. So it's in the key crossroads of this part of the world. They have the Middle East to the south. They have the Black Sea, where a war is being waged between Russia and Ukraine, and they have Ukraine to the north. And they're next to EU and NATO members, Bulgaria, Greece, and Romania. And on the other side, they have former Soviet republics of Georgia and Armenia, as well as Syria and Iraq. So it's a very key strategic geopolitical position. Turkey is not a member of the European Union, but it is a key member of NATO. At the beginning of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, it did stage talks between Russian and Ukrainian officials. It wanted to be a peace broker, both internationally and regionally, fought to put an end to that war. That wasn't possible. Now, Turkey is also a member of this coalition of the willing, which is to help and support Ukraine. Most NATO members are, apart from the United States, and there are non-NATO members such as Australia. And I think Turkey does, because it's a big regional player and it has a big strategic importance, wants a seat at the table of the coalition of the willing. It has a unique position. Vladimir Putin will talk, I think, to Erdogan, so will Zelensky. So they do have a position geostrategically that perhaps countries in Western Europe don't have, or Australia, for example. And they also do have deep intelligence about the region. You mentioned Gaza. They've had key words to say about Gaza as well as Ukraine. So I think they are very keen for their weight to be seen at the coalition of the willing, and also with regards to Gaza. They want Turkey to be seen to be playing a key role internationally.
And how do you analyze Turkey? Do you think, earlier when Ukraine and Russia war started, they were kind of trying to be a mediator over there or between them, and even hosting few talks in Turkey. But now, where do you see them? Do you think they're still a possible mediator, or are they on the side of Ukraine or Russia?
Turkey has always tried to portray itself, it is in NATO, which means it sort of should be on the side of Ukraine. But I think Vladimir Putin and the Russians do sort of talk to them. Both Vladimir Putin and Erdogan are authoritarian leaders. And for sure, Erdogan is not seen as a totally pro-Western. Erdogan, Turkey plays its hand quite carefully. But I think for Russia and for Ukraine, particularly for Russia, Turkey is seen probably too much as a regional power. and Russia prefers to deal with major world powers, and that sort of means the United States, particularly Donald Trump, who is seen to be in favour of Putin, also China, which is a bigger player, and also India, which Modi has been quite favourable to Putin. He invited him to India at the beginning of last month, December. So I think even though politically there may be some level of agreement with Erdogan that, say, Putin will not have with, I don't know, French President Macron, he wants to play, he wants to be seen to be dealing with the very big world leaders of very populous, what he considers important nations, such as I said, America, China, and India.
Right. Thank you very much, Ms. Butler, for sharing that. Please stay with us as we stay on this topic now. Now, moving on to our next